And we're live.
We're all chomping at the bit, or I guess me and Woody a little more, to talk about this GameStop thing because, like, I
me
feel,
too. Yeah, it's
yeah.
fascinating. I have $31,000 worth at $7 a share. No.
Oh my
God, I
God.
wish, right?
Oh,
God,
hook, line, and sinker. You
I'm
had
holding
me.
$3 million right now of GameStop stock.
Yeah. Did you see that guy? That's a guy named like Deep Value or something on Reddit made the post and got it started. And I think at one point he was up to $44 million. This is Thursday evening, the time we're recording this, so that's going to be relevant. And so he was worth like 44 million at the peak. And he's lost 15 million today, and he's still like posting like, I refuse to sell, like hold. And dude, it's like, hell yeah, dude.
Diamond hands and paper hands was a term I learned recently. You're familiar with this? So
no.
Yeah, diamond hands are guys who hold, guys who are strong, and paper hands are the weak. They're the weak sellers who cashed out early.
I don't want to lose anymore,
dude. And so many people are doing this. So I have paramotor friends talking about this. This is the biggest story in the world. Yeah. My wife, like, I walk into the kitchen, she's cooking. She's got the headphones in, listening to how GameStop is doing lately. And, you know, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, what's going on. Very complicated stuff. I can't remember finance stuff dumb. Even when the 2008 financial crisis, like the whole mortgage bomb thing happened, it just didn't seem like it was as big a story as this. It certainly won't have an acute peak like this. Dude, I'm fascinated by it. And
it's so interesting. Do you see that?
I'm fascinated by it too. And at some point, I know that you have you did a lot of research today, because you know how nitpicky the internet is. Like, if you get one little fraction of it wrong, oh, fool! And meanwhile, you know more than 99.9% of the populace, and you've just informed everyone. But at some point, before you give your very well informed and researched opinion, I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
You are upping the bar here, Kyle.
I'm not trying to raise the bar.
We're going to take my accuracy from its typical 75 to 85% here. That's what we're doing.
Okay. Before you give your 85% correct take on what has happened and what is going on, I want to give my zero informed opinion of what has actually happened, because I literally know nothing. Like, I know, like, just headlines and like titles of like videos, and that's it.
Yeah. It's like me looking at this is how I imagine you feel when I'm explaining hockey stats to you, or like even when we went to go see that game live, you're like, now that was offsides, and I'm like, no, it's so silly. Like, that's how Woody's gonna feel talking to us. This has nothing to do with the stats of it, but I forget his name, but he was trending on Twitter. Some like piece of shit hedge fund guy was on CNBC openly crying about how this was unfair. Meanwhile, he was he had a $2.5 billion fine 3 years ago for insider trading, and he's like, this is bad for the, and it's like, good, fuck you.
Good.
It's
fuck
worth
you.
it. I hope you are fucking bankrupt. I hope that you are living in a porta potty, a dirty one.
Ooh.
So are we ready for my completely uninformed, like, ignorant take on this?
Mine. Go.
All right. So it seems to me that the people on the WallStreetBets subreddit got together, and collectively they all invested in GameStop stock, which everyone, of course, was betting would fail, because obviously if you just ask me as a completely ignorant observer, like, hey, which stocks do you think are hot and which stocks do you think are really just never going to do anything? I was like, GameStop, bet against GameStop. Like bet that GameStop is going to continue to fail and continue to fail and continue to fail, because it just is.
It's the next
like
Blockbuster.
Thank you. If Blockbuster was still publicly traded, which, God, I hope it's not. I know they have one retail store left in the Northwest somewhere. You'd bet heavily against it. So it seems to me that everyone was betting so heavily against it that they got the bright idea that, hey, if we all go the other way, then we can inflate the price dramatically, and all those other people, I don't think their intent was to make anybody lose any money on the other side. They just didn't give a fuck. Their intent seems to be to make a ton of money by pumping this stock up and make it. No,
I think it was both. They wanted to fuck them, and they wanted to get rich.
So I want to explain what a short squeeze is. All right.
Yes.
So first there's a short. And how that works is Kyle happens to have 100,000 shares of GameStop laying around. I say, hey, Kyle, can I borrow it? I want to borrow your stock for whatever, 2 weeks, and I'll give it back to you then. Right. So that's where this begins. And then while he gives it to me, I sell it. Right. First thing I do is I sell it. He doesn't care. I don't care, whatever. My plan is that this stock is going to go down. And 2 weeks from now, I have to buy it. Got to, because I told Kyle I'd return it in 2 weeks. That's a must-do type thing. And so I sell it. And then after that happens, everybody starts buying it. They realize that I have this short position where I am forced. I have to buy it in 2 weeks. So they're like, let's run up the stock. We're going to take the supply and demand equation and fuck them. And
okay.
Yeah. So
I'm following this. You're doing well.
Yeah, this is really helpful. I love what they're doing.
Right? So, side note, normally when a company is shorted, that is kept a secret. These are tightly kept secrets. But Melvin Capital, I have that 90% right. I guess they have their short position sort of wrapped up in some other positions, and they reported it in an SEC filing. So people know. And they're like, aha, we fucking got them by the short hairs. So the WallStreetBets autists went together and they bought as much as they could. Now Melvin is in this spot where they have to buy it. And the stock went from 17. It's currently at like 250. It hit like 430 and they're losing a ton. Now,
no. I'm sorry to interrupt you. By a ton, we're talking like $2.7 billion, right?
I think I've seen 3.5 billion at one point. Yeah. so I guess you don't. They're being a little secretive. They have said, "Hey, you know what? Let me mute. Hey, you know what? We've gotten out of our position, boys. Hey, you can't short squeeze us anymore." And they're all like, "Liars! Fuck you! I can see that you still have to buy. Hold everybody, diamond hands. All right."
Diamond hands. I didn't know what that meant, but I just saw that. I literally saw them on the front page of Reddit. Are all number one trending. Number one, are all top right now is diamond hands. It's like lots of diamond emojis.
I would have thought a dance move.
That would be not a bad guess.
Or a new TikTok trend. But
so they're pretending that they've gotten out of this and that they can't be short squeezed anymore. And it's hard to know what's true and what's not true, but it appears that they're kind of lying about that. And they're still short squeezed. People are holding, they've got their diamond hands. They're doing their thing. Shit. So from there, it's all like the question of who the good guy and who the bad guy is a little more gray to me than it seems to be to the rest of the world. Most people are like, these hedge fund. Back in the 1950s, hedge funds were kind of these like safer investment vehicles. What they do is they bet a stock would go up, like most people do. They always pick their favorite companies and hope they go up. But they do this like, little hedge bet so that if it did tank a lot, then they were protected. And these funds tended to just perform a little more smoothly. Hedge funds have changed into something else. Now they're these more complex, higher risk investment vehicles that do all sorts of wacky stuff like borrow shares from Kyle and sell them, intending to give them back. And they're not even available to regular investors like us, right? People think I'm rich. I'm not this kind of rich. This is a different kind of rich. And it's either...
I keep interrupting you, but I used to work with a guy who his father ran a hedge fund, and they would be discussing this at work at the dealership. And like my bosses couldn't afford to buy into his hedge fund. And these were people who were making 6 figures a month. Like they couldn't afford to get in because it was like $750,000 right now. And then like there's going to be more coming. Like just to start, we're going to need $750,000.
So you can't even participate in this unless you are uber wealthy. Like you make regular rich people look poor.
Yes and no, right? So on one hand, you're right. Uber wealthy people can do this as an individual. But the other kind of people that are investing in hedge funds are collections of normal people, things like university endowment funds, pension funds, stuff like that. So, this specific example could be wrong, but we all know like Iron Workers Local 812 is investing in this hedge fund because collectively they're very wealthy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this idea of like, fuck anyone who's in a hedge fund, it's a little more complicated than that because these are pension funds and university endowment funds and other large collections of cash. And
Is that what's is that the kind of hedge fund this one is that's getting fucked?
I don't know, but I feel like it's not the kind of fund, it's the kind of investor that we're talking about. And who is in this, who's bought parts of this fund? Well, like everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know who bought this fund, but I doubt.
I can't just based on, and like, this is ignorant as shit, but just based on media response, I can't imagine that a bunch of people lost their pensions because you saw CNBC, Fox Business, all these people immediately go on high alert and start running, orchestrated defense. So if they had the point to go, these are firemen's pensions, these are blah, 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 they would have immediately rolled that out. But because it's shameless billionaires who are parasitical, they have to just say, this isn't fair. I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Dude, so I'm a little slower to jump on like media collaboration type theories, but it's hard not to see it in this one, right? Like if you watch CNBC, I'm reading Market Watch and stuff, there is a lot of defense of like the hedge fund and stuff. And to some extent it's semi-warranted. So what WallStreetBets will tell you is, man, these hedge funds have been doing short squeezes forever. This is not a new term that I've invented. Mm-hmm. Short squeezes in the 90s, people were talking about this shit. So it's not like WallStreetBets invented this behavior. On the other hand, it used to be they'd run up a stock from like 17 to 19 and a half and make some money. They never took it to 423 or 38 or whatever it went to. What they're doing with these
It's great.
In their blood diamond hands fuckery is at a level we've never seen before. And also, it used to be like Woody, you're short squeezing, you're kind of running up the stock. I am not. I just have a wholehearted belief in GameStop. I think they're undervalued and that they're the video retailer of the future, video game retailer of the future, right? So, and like, what are you going to prove my intent? You going to prove that I didn't think that this stock was going to have a bounce or something? But on Reddit, obviously they're colluding. They are without a doubt obviously colluding. What they're doing,
they absolutely are. And like I see this all, like, I don't really go on Reddit as much. Like I see it on Twitter, and I see mainstream journalists, most of them, the overwhelming majority that work for places like Fox, CNN, CNBC, they're all coming down on the same side. It is independent journalists and all the normal people that are like rah rah shish boo ban, like, and so like viscerally, and I've said multiple times already,
when you say they're all coming down on the same side, are you saying pro-billionaire?
Pro-billionaire, saying that this is so like, oh, the SEC needs to shut this down. We need to investigate it. Oh, there's a little bit of volatility in the market. Okay. So volatility that affects you negatively. This is integral. We need to get this taken care of right now. This is priority one. The wrong people are making money, and the very wrong people are losing money. And so we need to work together. Media colludes about it. The SEC colludes about it. All these people are colluding together, and they're fucking with the normal people who seem to take advantage of not even a loophole, because this is what the system is, right? It's just that this has been exploited to an extent that no one could have seen coming. And so it's like someone coming in and beating you at your game so badly that you have to go home. It's like a mercy rule, right? That's what they're trying to get implemented.
So I guess I don't know the exact law, but there are rules about colluding and driving up stock price and market manipulation. You're not supposed to do that.
But they do it all the time when they go on CNBC and covertly drive down a market, and then they short that market without informing people that they're going to do it, right? Like they do that all the time.
Well, true-ish, I'm going to, Woody, for whatever that's worth, is going to call that 75% true. And it's hard to distinguish between a guy coming on and saying like, hey, you know what? Tesla looks overvalued, but electric cars are the thing of the future, and they deserve the market cap of the next 6 combined because they're going to sell more than the next 6 combined or whatever. I can say that and I can believe it. And is that me falsely driving up the price of Tesla, or is that me giving good advice? I don't know.
Either way, wouldn't that comparison make what the people on Reddit did totally fine?
I don't think so. Like what the people on Reddit did is like a dishonest intent-based collusion.
No. Oh, those. I mean,
Okay.
but they went into it not dishonestly. They saw an opportunity to make a huge amount of money, right?
They saw an opportunity to short squeeze and manipulate a market.
Yeah, and that's what someone on CNBC is doing. They're going on there, and I'm not giving them the benefit of. I'm not giving these guys the benefit of the doubt whatsoever. They know what they're doing. They're smart people. They go on there. They say what they have planned to say exactly, word for word, and then they take advantage of the impact in the market, right? So it doesn't seem fair that it's just totally different rules for these people. Totally different rules.
Yeah.
And then Robinhood shuts down and all of this crazy stuff. And it's direct involvement, direct collusion, direct SEC involvement, fucking over these people. It's like, this is.
Well, you said SEC involvement. I think that part's off target. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they did. They said they're going to investigate it. The SEC, no, the Biden's Treasury Secretary is going to oversee the SEC investigation, but Biden's Treasury Secretary received $7 million in speaking fees from Citadel.
Is that
Capital.
true?
Citadel Capital owns.
That's not true.
What is it? The name?
Robinhood. That's not true.
No. I was going to say Robinhood. Whatever
I'm sorry.
It was one of the other names of the hedge funds, like Citadel and something else.
Mel?
Or maybe it was just Citadel. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up. So much is that. But
what people are saying on the internet is that Citadel, which I guess owns Melvin, also owns Robinhood. So they shut down trading of GameStop, and AMC is the other one people are talking about mostly. They shut down the trading of those. So now what that I think they made it so you could only buy. No, you can only sell. I have it wrong. Or they shut it down entirely. One of those. But what that means is they lowered the demand and kept the supply there so that the people who are getting short squeezed can get out, right? It was like a rescue plan almost for the big guys.
And I think we saw an example today of a guy, I think Chiz linked it to us. It was a guy on the WallStreetBets subreddit, and he was like, if I can hold, you can hold. And he showed that like he was holding like $27 million worth. He had like $27 million worth yesterday, but because of all the like freezing of everything, like now it says he's down 10 million. And he's like, if I can hold, you can hold. Stay strong, brothers.
Yeah. At this point, I think I'd hold too, because like
some Thermopylae shit.
Dude, I'm just wiped out either. It doesn't really matter if I'm 10 million in debt or $1 billion in debt.
Both are insurmountable.
He bought in. Look, I could probably find it, like the exact numbers, but he's like bought in for tens of thousands, but he's up to tens of millions or something like that. Like it's crazy the profit that he's made.
So I wanted to explain the Robinhood ownership structure because I looked into that too. What people are saying is that I think Citadel owns Melvin. I hope that's right. I'm pretty sure that.
Maybe that's, yeah.
And they're saying that Citadel owns Robinhood, and that's why they shut down the trading so that Melvin could get out and lose less. All right. The truth is, Citadel doesn't own Robinhood. However, Robinhood does free trades, and I guess what they do is they sell these trades, and Citadel can sometimes buy them. And then when Citadel executes the trades, they're not at as good a price as they might have otherwise gotten. They're like expired or inactive trades or something, and they just take it out of what they had laying around because it's a higher price than they would have gotten through some other means. It's a little complicated.
I'm trying to figure out what you're saying here. So, how is Robinhood and Citadel, like Citadel's processing transactions for Robinhood?
Yes, and they're buying them. So I guess this is it. Citadel butters Robinhood's bread. Right? That's the message I'm trying to get across. Mm-hmm. They are Robinhood's actual customer. In the same way that you think you're Facebook's customer, but you're not. You know, you're the product. Facebook, the advertisers are their actual customers. You think you're Robinhood's customer, but you're not. People like Citadel are their real customer. You are the product. Your trades are going to them, and they're making money by executing your trade at a price that maybe isn't as good as it would have been if it was handled some other way. And so why did Robinhood stop trading? Well, this does look a little shady. It's not an ownership structure. It's more of who does Robinhood care more about? The traders or the people who pay them? And the answer is kind of the answer.
Can they legally do that? That's not
what's
loaded.
the
I
VAT
don't
in
know.
this situation?
Like, can they legally just be like, yeah, this stock that you bought through you can no longer sell this, or you can we're freezing everything. You can no longer purchase this.
It appears that that's going to get some government attention. You know,
yeah, they can't do
AOC
that.
is talking about it. Ted Cruz is talking about it. My answer is probably not. You probably now. Robinhood has another answer on another side of this. They might be in a position where there was no obvious, like, correct, good, true, honest answer. So Robinhood knows that people that like the WallStreetBets guys are doing bad things, right? Forgive the air quotes, but they are colluding. They are manipulating market prices, and they're using Robinhood to do it. So Robinhood is like, we're going to get named in every fucking class action suit for the next 10 years, right? Robinhood is so fucked because our users are working together in broad daylight, saying that, you know, drive this thing up, diamond hands, hold, squeeze this hedge fund, right? And Robinhood is the vehicle that they're using to do that. So they're like, we know bad shit's happening. I guess we're obligated to stop bad shit from happening. Now, I know.
I'm confused.
Okay.
Why would it be bad or illegal or anything for a bunch of people to buy the same stock?
It is illegal to collude and manipulate market prices. And
so a bunch of people say, but the whole point is that, like, I'm saying that seems to be, from the outside looking in, like, that seems to be a law that is now being repealed to only apply to certain people who aren't in this special club. These billionaires can do this. They can do this anytime they want, and no.
What the billionaires can't do is on a message board say, all right, all billionaires, here's what we're going to do. We're going to all get together and we're going to manipulate this stock. Now, this is really going to fuck some people in power over, but who cares? All right. Diamond hands, brothers, diamond hands. Let's go.
You.
That is what you cannot do. Now, if you do it in a boardroom somewhere, nobody knows about that. You may have still committed some collusion, but all the colluders were in one little room together, not on one of the largest message boards in the world.
So the problem is that everyone knows this happens, but because, once again, it is the wrong group of people, they're getting cracked down on.
No. If the same group of people had done it, but they had done it in a convention center, and they had said, all right, everyone, on a microphone, that would have been okay, because nobody would have fucking known.
And if they had used the right coded language, right? If they had said, you know what? I believe in GameStop. We all believe in GameStop, right? And
you know who doesn't believe in GameStop? Those people who are short squeezing it for 2.7
now suddenly we're all wearing red hats.
They don't believe in it, but we do, right, boys? Everyone believes.
No, this is a bullshit technicality. If billionaires can do this in their Eiffel Towers, their ivory towers, all of their
Eiffel Towers with their croissants and those little coffees nobody likes.
We are going to short GameStop with these what do you think some artistic retard online going to take our money? No,
French billionaires.
So I know, I know exactly. I know what you're saying. Like, but I still don't care. Morally, I don't fucking care. These people on Reddit should be able to do this shit if they.
I don't care either. I'm glad they're doing it. I hope they get away with it scot clean. I hope they make tons of money. I have the numbers, by the way. This guy who was telling everyone if I can hold, you can hold. He's down $10.7 million today.
Can you explain? Yesterday. Is he down from the start, or did he just earn 10? Like, is he up 18 million instead of 28 million?
Yeah. That seems to be.
He is up 7.7 million instead of 18.5 million.
Okay, all right, now I understand.
Wow. What a loser!
Yeah. What a loser! Yeah. Like he could cash out right now for $7,776,000. No.
Because he's principled. And he's got.
I want to cash out for 18 million, which is why we wait till next Thursday.
Is that? That's
I don't know when it is.
Is it Friday?
I think tomorrow something big happens, and like an interesting thing about, remember the very beginning thing, the short I was explaining where I borrow stocks from Kyle and then give them back 2 weeks later. You can lose much more than you invested, right? So normally when I buy a stock I'll put 10 grand into a stock. The worst thing that can happen is I lose all 10 grand. That stock drops to zero. In this scenario where the stock's at $100. I borrow it from Kyle. I can lose much more. Let's say about one share. I can lose much more than $100, right? That stock can go to 400. And now I have to buy it at 400. I've lost 300 if my math is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
it's a 400% loss.
Yeah. You can lose far more than you risked.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That phrasing is not great. But
I love this so much. It's so beautiful.
This is one of my favorite things to happen in so long.
Like, like I want to know who like the who's making the most. Like I bet there's a bunch of guys. Like I don't know. Like what did the stock?
Fried value? What is his name?
I don't know. What was the stock at when they began? Like $7?
17-ish.
And it's currently at like 250, but it was at 450, roughly.
Yeah, 438, I think. But right.
Okay, so
at 2 p.m. for like 1 minute.
So
today,
like 65 times their money, roughly.
If they just bought shares, if they bought options to buy shares, then it multiplies out of the wazoo, right?
Oh, shit.
So I can buy a share for $100 a share, right? Or I can be like, all right, so the share is currently at 100. I'm going to buy the rights to this stock at 110. So it has to go up 10% for me to even be in the money. But for that same $100, is that we made it?
Yeah.
I can get the option to purchase like 1,000 of these things. So there's a much bigger chance that I lose it all. But if it does go up like I'm thinking, then there's this chance that I make many multiples of what I invested.
Oh, God damn. This is beautiful. Why didn't we know about this?
Internet. Next time you're going to do this shit, shoot me a text.
Yeah, wouldn't you like to have slipped 50, 60 grand into this thing?
Oh my God.
I've seen a dozen steak and shakes go out of business here.
Oh my God.
I don't even
we could all be sitting on an extra $1 million, $2 million today. Like
oh, you're thinking so small. You put 50 in, you could be sitting on like 44 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Well,
I completely lose the plot and I buy it.
I mean, I'd have had to really believed in this thing. Like you could have been like, Kyle, trust me, do it. Just 50,000.
You're like, Woody, I trust you 5,000 worth.
No, I trust you $50,000 worth. I don't know if I trust you $250,000 worth. You're like, no, it's gonna happen. You see, all right, it's like this. The monkey has 15 bananas.
Apes together strong.
Apes together strong. I love that meme.
Hey, can I read that?
Yeah. Do you have it?
I'm scrolling.
It's really funny.
Was that a green text?
I think it is a green text.
While he's looking for it, I saw a green text that was like 2022. Walk into GameStop. Chauffeur parks my car. Walk to diamond-plated game rack. Pick up Cyberpunk 2078.
Oh.
Pick up like fucking gold-plated controller, whatever the fuck. I don't remember.
All right, let's dumb this down for you apes. Let's say 5 bananas currently cost $10. One ape on the market has 5 bananas. Snake asks to borrow 5 bananas for a bit and instead sells the 5 bananas thinking that this price will go down, shorting. He thinks he can buy them later for less and give them back to ape, so he makes a profit on the difference. Group of apes notice what stupid snakes are doing and decide to buy all the bananas on the market until the snakes have no choice but to buy them all from the groups of apes in order to return what they borrowed. If group of apes stay strong, the price will go rocket ship emoji ×3. Apes
Reading
together
that
strong.
Was so helpful.
It really was.
For me to understand
it really was. Whoever wrote that up, like, thank you so much, because
Yeah.
I get the apes together strong. I can wrap my head around.
Apes together strong. Certainly.
God damn it! Why didn't we know about this? I go to that subreddit occasionally just for shits and giggles. It's usually fun stuff.
Thing is, we know about the other side, right? We all know that GameStop is a shit company that's artificially driven way too high. You know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So why aren't we betting it goes down? How, like, what's the scoop on, what's to stop you from shorting it today? I want to borrow those shares from Kyle now and give them back 2 weeks.
Is this a double scheme?
This is not clever thinking. Like this is.
I know it seems like
I understand what
This
you're
seems
saying.
so volatile though that I'm afraid now.
Me
Like,
too.
I'm afraid.
I'm not. I'm breaking even on GameStop. I guarantee it. I'm completely staying out. But it's like,
let's put a couple $1,000s in, though, right? Let's bet against it.
Kyle's
it's gonna
feeling
go
lucky.
back down.
Yeah, GameStop is
I don't-
not worth $250 a share. GameStop is shit. GameStop is Blockbuster, but customers hate them even more.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna hit $25 a share in a week.
Yeah, or less.
Unless
Yeah,
they really.
I was thinking GameStop has the future and business model of Blockbuster with the love of the customer of your cell phone provider.
Yeah.
They take that hatred and
No one's nostalgic about GameStop. I would go if there were a Blockbuster down the street. I'd go.
Oh,
I would actually go. There's a place, I think it's called Videodrome in Atlanta that rents movies.
Huh.
I'd go. I like it's kind of cool to walk around and like they've got shit that you can't really find on the internet sometimes, and it's nice to. Oh yeah, they did make a Nightmare on Elm Street 27 or whatever. It's fun to rent movies. Like I like it.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
There's
The world was your
nostalgia.
oyster.
There's that
Because,
smell of the glue and the popcorn in there.
the overpriced candy that had been there for far too long.
Oh, way
and if you
too
were
long.
smart, you stopped at like a gas station or an actual grocery store. Only a fool purchases snacks at the Blockbuster.
There's a reason I picked that for like one of my first little post high school jobs. It was like, this is the best place. This is my candy land. Like I love working here. Like the perks are worth like you wouldn't even have to pay me. I get to hang out amongst movies and video games all day, and I can take home 5 every night for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
They would help me pick a movie. You go to Blockbuster and there's like a wall devoted to whatever. I'm like, oh, that one must be good.
Remember that? It'd be like Wally and Steven, everybody who worked there. A picture of them and their favorite.
That Seinfeld episode. Oh, this is a Gene pick.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Elaine's like, "Are you Gene?" It's like a 60. She's like, I brought the beer and cigarettes. Gene is 16 years old and he's in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
So-
Anyway, this GameStop shit has been blowing my mind. It's